I'm just going to ignore the fact that Peter's there and pretend that I'm doing the right sort of thing. You'll direct me if you need to, Peter. Welcome. For those who didn't meet me last time, I'm Adrian Goldsmith. I'm going to be your facilitator as we go through this wonderful journey called the High Performance Management course, or the Diploma of Management. Sarah's been through part of it before, so she's joining us on a second time around, so hopefully it's as good as the first time, or better. We'll see how we go. Andrew's joining us from Signal and Hobbs, and we'll get you to all to reintroduce yourself shortly. And Mariana, where are you from? Dolcetti, which is what sort of organisation? A cake shop. Yeah. You have to bring some afternoon tea for us on a regular occasion. All right, so today we're going to revisit some of those things we talked about at the overview workshop, and then we're going to step boldly into the first workshop, which is all about accepting the challenge of leadership, making sure we understand what it is we're talking about when we talk about accepting that challenge. Lots and lots of activities to get through, all the stuff that's on the board behind me, which I'll lead you through as we go through the session. But as I mentioned at the start of the overview workshop a month ago, geez, it sounds very quickly, that month's gone incredibly quickly, that I'm not a teacher, I'm not a lecturer, and I'm not going to be standing here sprouting forth with great words of wisdom. I'm actually here to help facilitate the learning process. So a lot of the learning, a lot of the discussion, a lot of the input and feedback is from you guys talking amongst yourselves and learning and benefiting from the experiences that are around the room. And certainly I will happily point and engage you and get that process going in the best way I can. So before we get into too much detail, I just want to rip around the room and introduce or reintroduce for some of you, for those of you who were here at the overview session, which company you work for, what you do there. If we don't know what your company does, tell us a bit about what your company does. And then we'll just work our way around the room very briefly, and I'll reintroduce myself, and we'll roll from there. So Christine, kick us off. Tell us where you're from, what you do. Your estimation is just going up. I like it. Good one. And Adrian Goldsmith, facilitator, course coach, researcher. And for 20-something years of my life, I worked for a particular organisation, or two particular organisations in the market and social research industry. And about 5 years ago, started to do more of what I'm doing today, which is to facilitate great groups of people through various programs that LMA particularly puts forward. So Diploma of Management, Certificate 4 in Frontline Management, Certificate 3 in Business, and a bunch of other bits and pieces along the way. And also run a survey for LMA called the Lead Survey, which you'll hear a lot about as we go through this course. So I'm one of the lead facilitators in the environment called Melbourne. Do most of the work here, a little bit in Tasmania, and every now and then get up to the border. So we're going to learn a lot about each other as we go through this program. We're going to be spending 4 hours a fortnight with each other. We're going to talk in small groups, in large groups, sometimes in pairs, sometimes in 3s and 4s. So we're going to learn about not just what we've done in the past, but how we approach different situations. And I've just finished this morning. I did a workshop with a group that's just at the end of this program. They've just done module 16, so the last module. They're getting warmed up for graduation. And I just was reflecting this morning on how far they've come from day one to module 16, and the difference in their ability to communicate, their ability to plan, and the way they think about things. So I'm excited by the fact that we're starting off this journey today with you guys, and we're going to make some huge progress over the next 10 or so months as we work our way through the program from start to finish. And I think you should be excited about the fact we've got quite a diverse group in the room, lots of experience to draw from, a couple of 100 years worth of experience at the very least, and more importantly, some different perspectives on familiar problems, or familiar issues or challenges. And we're going to start by looking at the Accepting the Challenge unit, which is really about setting the scene for what's to come. And there's some great concepts or ideas in there. And what I'd like you to do as you walk away from each of the workshops at the end of the Thursday is to carry away at least one good idea that you'll try, or one good idea or approach that you'll apply in that following fortnight, and see how it goes. Okay? And my challenge to you today to start with is just try something different, to have a go and think, how could this work differently? You reckon you're up to that challenge? Yeah. Okay. So by the end of the course, you might walk away with at least 16 ideas, hopefully more, but we'll see. There's lots and lots of tools and tips and tricks in your kits that will help you to make sure that you're addressing issues and concerns or problems or challenges that are in your world and doing it as effectively as you can. All right. So lots to look forward to. For the benefit of not just spaced repetition, but for the benefit of making sure we've got all those big concepts working, I'm just going to go through a brief review of some of the key concepts we talked about at the overview. This will help Mariana, Andrew and Sarah to make sure that you're in the right headspace as well, as with the rest of the crew. So One of the big parts of the whole program is the feedback online system, which is our way of presenting to you the assignment work, communication between yourselves and your learning partners, including myself as your facilitator. Who's been on the feedback online in the last month?